Hi and everybody, welcome to my channel. You too can be great. This is the VH1 Family Reunion Love and Hip Hop Season 2 Episode 5 review. Shikana's Resolve is what I called it, but I don't remember what they titled this shit. But we start off, because y'all know the last episode, it ended up with Jonathan and Sin arguing with Erica Mena because it seemed like they were trying to defend Sin when Cisco got drunk and decided that he wanted to have a heart-to-heart with Sin 5 years after the fact to make a scene. And Sin came back all pissed off and angry and kind of took it out on Erica because obviously they had bad blood. And Erica now kind of pushed a narrative to piss off Jonathan, which is what she does. Because Erica has a mouth on her, we all know, where she said, we're too black for you, remember? And Jonathan is now going to use that and run with it. Here's the thing about Jonathan. I don't think that anybody who watches this series is going to think that Jonathan is a racist, okay? I just don't see it, but Jonathan seems to be somebody that likes drama. Because Zell made a comment about wanting a wife, wanting kids, not wanting to be too gay. That was Zell's opinion. That's a struggle. Jonathan made a thing about it and gave us this whole, I have dreams speech. I'm happy to be gay, 1000% to be gay, I'm 100% to be gay. And Bobby's also there, gay as he is, not behaving this way. So I don't know whether Jonathan is just a attention seeker and uses drama for it and involves himself, because he was the one that said, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Instagram page. And I'm just like, okay, we know that Erica Mena did that shit. At least all the evidence points that she did that shit. So I don't know. But Jonathan takes this to heart and he said that he wanted to pack and he wanted to leave. So Mimi goes to talk to him and Sin. Sin is like, I'm a ride or die for my friend. This fake persona that Sin has adopted this entire season, that she's become this Hispanic / Black Afro-Latina type, whatever accent she's picking / New York. And I don't know who she is, or I don't even think she knows who she is, but she's adopted this accent that's annoying the hell out of me this entire episode. But her and Jonathan are not having a conversation with Mimi. Mimi's trying to convince him to stay. And Sim is like, you know, telling her about Cisco and how Cisco wanted to talk to her and the entire situation, the drama that happened with him and her record that she wanted for free, basically. And, you know, she ends up in her confessional, you know, because I'm not with that. And I'm just like, Sin is beautiful, but she's working my nerves because I don't know what character she's playing. When Sin came on This Love and Hip Hop, this accent, this role, all this stuff that she's using the N-word and stuff like that, which she does use, it wasn't like, that wasn't her thing. Now that she's gotten black dick inside of her, she's now adopting this other side of her that I didn't see when she was with Erica. Okay? Then we have Jonathan and Sin discussing the issues at breakfast the next day with Mimi, Rich, Peter, and Booby, discussing what happened with Erica. And they're all trying to convince Jonathan to stay and have a conversation. And Sin's messy ass decides to tell him about Cisco last night, knowing that he was drunk, saying that the reason that he's behaving that way, they have a beef, is because she was making music with him. He one day told her that he loved her. And she said, I just want to keep it professional because obviously he's not black and that's not her type. And he took the song away. And then in the midst of that, he brought up, why are you doing this to me? 5 years after the fact, and referring to her flirting with Booby as if that's a thing. And then she was just like, I can't do this. And they're like, Booby sitting up there like, what the fuck I got to do with this? I didn't know they had a thing. A thing 5 years ago. Like, what the hell? I'm going to go ahead and get my sin. If he has a problem, come talk to me. Booby always has this smooth vibe about him. Like, I'm not even going to be like tripping about this nonsense. He can come talk to me. He can come find me. He can come see me type attitude. And I've always liked that calmness about him. But Sin is being messy, even mentioning that shit at that table with him. She's being very messy. So Sin is showing a different side of her that I'm not I don't like too much. She's kind of like irking me a little bit. Then we have Jonathan saying that he definitely wants to leave, and Sin is like, I'm gonna ride or die with him if he leaves. So on the bus, they have they're preparing for Reggae Day, but they're heading over there. So you got Erica, Kimbella, Zell, Booby, Safari, etc., all the people, Peter in the bus. And Erica decides, they're talking to Erica about what happened with Sin. She was just like, they're probably in the room crying, her and Jonathan. I'm not saying sorry. But Erica decides to take this moment to apologize to Kimbella for snatching her ass years ago when Yeti introduced Kimbella and Erica. The thing is, Kimbella and Erica are video hoes. well, I wouldn't necessarily say video hoes. Excuse me, I have an ice fixation. Now, they're video girls. And it seemed like Erica had attacked Kimbella because she felt like Kimbella was one of those video girls who was giving ass instead of giving talent. And so when you walk into a state or walk into a room or you walk into an audition or you walk into a gig, they're expecting her, Erica, to give up ass because Kimbella's one of those girls that did that. So that's one of the reasons why she attacked Kimbella. Because she said Kimbella's fucking with her money, bitch. But she's now saying years later, Kimbella and all that big ass, that she is wanting to apologize to her because she had hurt some things. She was a little bit more immature back then and she shouldn't have done that and so on and so forth. Which was a much needed apology because I didn't understand why Erica was attacking Kimbella. If she wants to sell her ass in the video girl to be a video girl, and so be it, girl. Don't sell yours if you don't want it. But she deserves to apologize to Kimbella. Kimbella accepted it, saying that now that she's a parent, she's trying to grow, but Erica is up and down. I never know what I'm going to get with her. Sometimes she's cool, but then sometimes she's rowdy. You just never know. So then they get to back at the hotel before they get to the reggae day, whatever. You got Sid and Jonathan now decided that they didn't want to go. I'm just like, the fuck, just get out of here. If you don't want to be here, just go. Just go. All this back and forth thing just seems like y'all just want to make a scene. Just go. At this point, I didn't even want your ass there. She kind of on the bus is talking about, I don't know why Erica can't just apologize to Sid, but Erica's too prideful. She ain't finna say sorry to Sid. Let's just let that shit go. Or Jonathan. Then we get to reggae day in the beach. They got the good food. They got the music. Cisco's already drinking early and Rich is over there smacking the cup out of his hand like he's his child. Talking about, Cisco, do you even remember what you did last night? He said, nope. Rich, the messy kid, is sitting up there breaking down everything. Yo, do you remember what you told Sin? Remember bringing up Booby? Booby's like, huh? I must have been wild and I need to apologize. Clearly, we see that Cisco is kind of having a hard time in life and he uses alcohol to cope. And when he does drink, he does tend to black out and do stupid shit. So I do see that part of him. But I also think that Rich is going out of his way to make Cisco seem like a horrible person in general, because Rich seems to be a lot harder on Cisco than he is with Peter when Peter has done some of the jankiest shit I've ever seen. Okay, then Reggae Day gets here. Safari's telling us about his long lost Jamaican history, and Rich lets us know that he's Jamaican, but he doesn't know some of this history. I said, don't worry, your penis does, because there's this whole stereotype that Jamaicans, Tristan, tend to always walk around wanting to have sex with anything with a pulse and don't have any self-control. And well, if anything, you embrace that part of your nature. So if that's the case, if the stereotype fits, then we have Shekinah and all of them talking on the beach. Shekinah keeps arguing with Erica because Erica's being loud and whatever the case is. Shekinah's kind of getting irritated with Erica, I think, in a way, because she feels like if this is supposed to be a retreat for peace, then we all need to be open to peace, and Erica is bringing drama. So Shekinah kind of had this moment where she's kind of digging at her, and Brooke is like, Shekinah needs some dick, otherwise she wouldn't be acting like this. I said, well, damn, even if she does get dick, she still might act like this. Shekinah just says what she feels. Then Safari decides to do Kite Day, where he references that it means something about Jesus and Easter. I said, who makes up this freaking paganistic type traditions that y'all just be putting Jesus in everything when he ain't got nothing to do with it? Then we have Safari doing his music, Bust a Blank, and it was a nice performance. Erica looked like she was going nut on that beach watching her man go ahead and perform. They enjoyed themselves. I loved the dance. It was a lot of fun. It was good to see that they were actually having fun during this meeting. So they get back and Stevie the bad guy is there on the beach. Finally arrived without Mimi's child support because Faith has not given him any spousal support. So he's there broke, empty-handed, and he's going to give her an empty-handed, no money apology to Mimi about all the things that he's put her through, aka starting with Jocelyn, in addition to that, all the cheating he did prior, all the back and forth, and Mimi standing by his side the whole time, and him doing her like a dog. And he said, I was young. This is the thing about Stevie that he needs to understand. Mimi can forgive him, but she can never forget, because the pain that he put her through, the embarrassment he put her through, it was like 4 or 5 seasons going. And Jocelyn was rubbing that shit in her face so much. It was very difficult for her to move on. He hurt her to her core. And to add insult to injury, she didn't put him in child support at the time. So it's like she was trying to be the nice person, and he was just taking advantage of her kind nature. And if you notice that everybody that has dated Mimi has said that Mimi has a good heart as a person. And even Stevie has said the same thing. Even Jocelyn said the same thing. So why would he dog her out the way that he did? Because now his karma is coming in Faith, because Faith has got to get in the ass. You know she dated Biggie. Don't even try that shit. So Stevie's now apologizing to her, and I know that Stevie has a lot of regrets when it comes to Mimi, because she's the one that did get away, because he just couldn't stop fucking around. But don't worry, she got Ty's finance who just proposed to her, and Ty got money, so he been taking care of your baby. So you don't need to do nothing, just say your apologies and keep it pushing. Then we have, while he's trying to say the apology, Bobby saying, putting her through hell. And Stevie already knows. He gets defensive. He feels some type of way about people making sure, you know, to clock him, just like Peter does. And then we have Erica Mena coming in, and you know Stevie and Erica had the little beef during the reunion where Erica was calling him more sorts of bitches, because he said he was going to give Erica a song, or at least, you know, work with her with music, but he was trying to piss up Estelita, if y'all remember her, with having another Hispanic Latina person. So he tried to go with Erica Mena, but when Erica Mena tried to sing, he now says she can't sing. So Erica Mena found somebody else who's willing to work with her, and Stevie was now spreading it that she can't sing without actually telling her. So Erica was like, well, if you thought I couldn't sing, why are you offering me something? You're out here being a whole clown and shit. So she went for the juggling and said, you're nothing to be proud of. Mimi left your ass and she's strictly with women. She don't want your dick no more. And so she basically read him for filth. So flash forward to now, he's trying to put it behind him, and he's trying to give her a hug because he don't want Erica Mena's mouth to tear him apart again. So they say hello, and thankfully they move on their merry ways. Now, Jonathan and Sin, who I've been waiting to leave this show, come out because Jonathan is now saying, I invited Stevie, so he's going to be here today, so I might as well be here. Nonsense. You just wanted some drama. He comes out, and Zell is like, I don't want to hear what the fuck Jonathan has to say. Jonathan always has some sad story. If you tell him something, he always had a sadder story to out sad you or whatever. I don't want to hear his pity party. Do I think that Jonathan has this thing where he has a lot of sad stories? Yes. He's talked about his father, he's talked about his mother, he's talked about his upbringing, talking about how, you know, being gay has been a problem and all the stuff that he went through. So it seems like every person who has had to come out of the closet or had to figure out themselves in that regard has gone through some kind of trauma in that area. So it's not unusual for me to hear that story. It's unfortunate, but it's not unusual. But Zell is at the point to where I don't know how long he's been around Jonathan, but he's completely annoyed with it. He's like, I don't want to hear what he has to say. I don't care. I'm sorry you had a hard life, but I don't want to hear that shit. Bobby, who I'm sure also experienced the same thing. Zell, who I'm sure also experienced the same thing, but they seem to be getting along a lot better than Jonathan and them. So I don't know what the real deal is. I hope we find out later, but Zell is getting irritated with Jonathan, and he don't even want to see his ass there. So... and then Sin makes a beeline straight for Booby to go and flirt with his little fine ass. I mean, come on. Sin, I don't know if she's using Booby as a distraction or Booby to piss off Cisco, or if she really genuinely likes Booby. I don't know. But I know that Sin, that ain't gonna work. Anyway, so the nighttime bonfire for healing by Shekinah comes up, and Shekinah starts off by saying that she wants to open this up by, you know, having everybody do this bonfire healing moment to get us closer together. And she starts off by apologizing to Peter for calling him Freddy Krueger and making fun of him about how he treated Amina and Tara. And then she also wanted to apologize for Cisco and stuff like that. Shekinah is very, very genuine when she speaks. When I see her, I feel like she's a genuine speaker. It's sad that how the situation played out between her, Tiny, and T.I. Obviously, Tiny and T.I., especially Tiny, holds herself in a higher regard than she does with Shekinah. So when this whole situation happened with their friendship having been such a long time, you can see that it did break Shekinah down, and it was sad to watch. But Shekinah seems to be getting better. She lost a lot of weight. She looks good. She looks bomb. She's forgiving people. Then Zell apologizes to Mimi, and I find out that in this episode that it seems like Mimi gave Zell his first gig as a I don't know if it was like as a clothing designer or makeup. I don't know what the title was, but she gave him an opportunity. And we find out that Zell was homeless at the time when it was happening. And that when Mimi now got out there, when he now got his face out there outside of Mimi, then he now got out his mouth and started insulting the person who gave him his first food, who fed him the first time around. So he said he wanted to apologize to her and hope that, I didn't know the story, because this entire time that Jonathan is making a big deal about this shit, we didn't even know that Zell had beef with Mimi in the past. I didn't know. At least it wasn't even played out in the show. So the fact that he even brought it up and apologized, I said, Mimi is very mature, because she didn't even mention shit about this at all. So they hug it out. Then we got Sin and her fake accent standing up to give her apology about what happened the night before and to make her little speech. While she's making the speech, Erica comes up and she's interrupting an hour later because she's like, I'm sleeping and I'm going to come out and do my own thing. She interrupted Sin. So what Sin had to say didn't even go anywhere. And of course, Sin with her accent, yo, you feel me? Because it's real deep. It's real deep. Whatever, girl. Sit your ass down and shut up. Then, she kind of has them write what they want to manifest in their life on a piece of paper and burn it, because this is something that you want good to happen to you. Zell wants a wife and kids. He's been saying that. Booby wants to rebuild his block and community like Nipsey did in Houston. Rich manifested redemption for everybody. And Shekinah addresses Erica and Sin, talking about, y'all, today is not the day. I want y'all to fix things. Y'all have had bad blood for a long time. If anything happens to either one of you, I know y'all will feel sorry about it because y'all been fighting this whole time. Erica's stubborn ass ain't finna be nice to Sin. Sin's stubborn ass ain't finna be nice to Erica. Like, what the hell? They used to sleep with each other and Erica cheated on Sin. And Sin did not like that. And Sin is now here adopting a whole new attitude, a whole new accent to get herself another man because her and Joe didn't work out. So they don't care about each other, girl. She kind of let it go. Let him fight. I think she kind of is feeling like she's kind of projecting a little bit. I think that at the end of the day, if Tiny and her would have worked things out, she would have been happier. But we all know what's happening in social media between them. They ain't friends. So I think that there's a regret there. And she sees potential between Sim and Erica. They're both beautiful, both from the, culturally relatable, they're smart, and they both like the same black dudes. So why can't they get along? It's been such a long time. But I'm like, Shekinah, recently we had that Instagram situation, girl. Let it go. We also had that Tahiri situation with Erica Mena bringing Tahiri around Joe when Joe and Sin were going through their worst time and she had postpartum and shit. I mean, hell, I don't know if I can forgive that shit either. Then we have the episode ending. And then they're showing what's going to happen next week. We got Ladies' Day and Fellas' Day. We have Stevie's delusional ass wondering why the hell Mimi wasn't the one that sent him an invite. Bitch, she don't want your ass there. Then we have Safari sending flowers to another woman, and Erica blowing it up saying, we're supposed to be married and you're over here sending flowers to another woman before you actually come here to this supposedly fixed shit with me, telling me you love me. Like, Safari is Jamaican just like Rich, girl. He's going to slang his thing. Wherever he wants to, he's going to sit up here and have a good vibe, good time, and do whatever he wants, girl. Just let that man go and call it a day. So she's going to be crying. There's going to be another mess between them, and she's going to attack him again. And Safari's going to sit up there and cry and say he's not the bad guy and all that nonsense. Anyway, you guys have a good rest of your day. That was this review, and I will see you next time.